Today's learning target is I can make claims about characters by thinking about what they say, do, and or think. For the next few weeks, we will be writing literary analysis essays. This is the type of writing called argumentative writing. Last week, we learned about the writing process. For the next few days, we will be doing pre-writing. We will be gathering information and taking notes so that then we can get ready for drafting. So our learning target is that good readers come up with claims about characters by thinking about what the character says, thinks, and does. We're going to be reading a story called Brave Girl. It is a true story about a girl that didn't like the situation she was in, how she was being treated. And she organized a strike to fight for her human rights. As I'm reading, I'm going to try to make an opinion or a claim about the main character, right? I want to say what I feel about her, what I think about her. So I have a list here of words to help us. Sometimes some of these words are hard, but sometimes we can think of a word or we can find a word that we didn't think of that to describe the character. But in order to really say that word, we need to have evidence. We need to have evidence, text evidence of what the character says, thinks, and does. So I'm going to model for you. I'm going to show you how to do that, and then you're going to do it alone. So let's start reading. A steamship pulls into the harbor, carrying hundreds of immigrants and a surprise for New York City. The surprise is dirt poor, just 5 feet tall, and hardly speaks a word of English. Her name is Clara Lemlich. This girl's got grit, and she's going to prove it. Look out, New York. Clara knows in her bones what is right and what is wrong. What's wrong begins a few weeks after the Lemlichs moved into their tenement in America. No one will hire Clara's father. They will, however, hire Clara. That's right, Clara. Companies are hiring thousands of immigrant girls to make blouses, coats, nightgowns, and other women's clothing. They earn only a few dollars a month, but it helps pay for food and rent. So instead of books, so instead of let's just go back to that slide. So instead of carrying books to school, many girls carry sewing machines to work. Clara becomes a garment worker. So I'm thinking, already I'm learning so much about Clara. She's this young girl, little girl, who instead of going to school, she's gonna go and work. Her father can't work, so they need money to eat. So when I think of that, again, this is my opinion, as long as I can prove it, right? I can choose any word I want as long as I can prove it. So I'm thinking that Clara, I'm going to go here with the word determined, right? To be determined means that you really go for what you want and you stay focused and you do everything you need to do to accomplish that goal. So I'm going to say that she's determined, okay? And here I'm using this graphic organizer to take note, to keep track of my evidence. So I said that Clara is determined. What does the character say? Well, so far she hasn't really said anything, so I'm not going to put anything there. What does the character think? We know she thinks what she is doing is wrong, right? She thinks that the fact that she has to go to school, no, the fact that she can't go to school and she has to work is wrong, but she's doing it anyway, right? She's still going to go because that's something she has to do. She's determined. Here it says, how do you know? What are his or her actions? What do other characters think about them? So one piece of evidence I found is that it says instead of going to school, she goes to work in a factory. To me, that shows a person who's determined. Even if she doesn't really want to do this, she's determined. She knows she has to help out her family. Let's keep reading and see if we can find more text evidence. Or maybe we can come up with another claim or another opinion. From dawn to dusk, she's locked up in a factory. Rows and rows of young women bend over their tables, stitching collars, sleeves, and cuffs as fast as they can. Hurry up, the bosses yell. Rat-a-tat, hisses Clara's machine. The sunless room is stuffy from all the bodies crammed inside. There are two filthy toilets, one sink, and three towels for 300 girls to share. Clara learns the rules. If you're a few minutes late, you lose half a day's pay. If you prick your finger and bleed on the cloth, you're fined. If it happens a second time, you're fired. The doors are locked and you're inspected every night before you leave to be sure you haven't stolen anything from the factory. She wants to read, she wants to learn. At the end of her shift, at the end of her shift, at the end of her shift, through her eyes from straining in the gaslight and her back hurts from hunching over the sewing machine, she walks to the library. She fills her empty stomach with a single glass of milk and goes to school at night. When she gets home late in the evening, she sleeps only a few hours before rising again. Let's stop here for a second. Do you have any evidence to add to my claim that she's determined, or do you have your own claim? If you are here with a teacher, you can stop, pause this lesson, and have a conversation about this, and you can put it in the chat box. So go ahead and pause. If not, let's continue. So I want to add more information about how she's determined. So I said she learns the rules. I also realized not only is she determined because she has to go to work, but she's determined to learn. So even after she goes to the factory, she continues studying later. So I'm going to add that here. I'm going to add another text evidence here. And I'm going to say, I'll just move that over to the side right here. I'm going to say she goes to she learns or she stays reading, right? Let's just say exactly what it says. She wants to read, so she walks to the library. Let's say that. And notice a good reader will go back and reread to find the evidence. She walks to the library even after working long hours. And that's on page, let me go back to it. That is on page 6, 7, that's on 8. So I am going to write page 8. Always keep track of what page your evidence is in. So as you see, I found that on page 4, because we can't make up evidence. We have to actually prove it. Okay, let's stop here. On Otis, your independent work is that now you're going to fill out this graphic organizer. You can, but this time you're going to find the claim or opinion about the factory bosses. So I want you to write a word or a few words that you feel, what's your opinion on the factory bosses, but then you need to find me all the evidence from the text. Okay, tomorrow we will learn how to use our information from our graphic organizer to write a fifth grade paragraph. Good luck.